Hello friend, I want to tell you about the Toyota Auris car. In 2007, Toyota surprised everyone by changing the model name of its European compact from Corolla to Auris. The iconic name was left only for the global sedan. However, it was not a technical breakthrough, and after a few years it turned out that Auris is like Corolla, reliable, durable and deadly boring. Is it worth buying a diesel? Yes, but on condition that it is 1.4D with a reasonable mileage of 120 to 150,000 kilometers. It will reward you with very low fuel consumption in the range of 4 to 6 L, 100 kilometers and high reliability. There is no dual mass flywheel, so the first sign of fatigue and a harbinger of higher expenses are problems with the turbocharger and injection system. If repair costs are high, it is best to give up the car and sell it. It's hard to say anything bad about petrol engines. The 1.4 engine comes from the older ZZ family, while the larger ones are ZRs improved to 5. The smaller 1.33 is marked as 1NRFE and initially had a problem with collecting a lot of carbon deposits. The engines were repaired under warranty, so we can assume that what is currently on the road had no problems, or was repaired. The 1.4 engine does not have the typical problems of its ZZ brothers, because it was slightly improved before being installed in the Auris. However, you have to keep an eye on the engine oil level. The 1.6 and 1.8 engines are the best. They only have a problem with accelerated wear of the coolant pump. However, you have to remember to use 0W20 engine oil in them, which Toyota recommends. Any other oil will cause significant contamination of the inside of the unit. The best choice of petrol version is 1.6 Valvematic or 1.8 Valvematic engine. The first one is a compromise between fuel consumption and performance. Both are satisfactory for this class of car. 1.8 engine is a proposal for people who care mainly about dynamics, and 147 HP does its job. You don't have to worry about operation. What's broken? Toyota Auris, like Corolla, is famous for its reliability. Is this a fact or just a stereotype? It is certainly not ideal, but it can be considered a reliable model. Any minor faults do not affect mobility. Corrosion may be a problem. It is not advanced, but it occurs in closed profiles, around elements and on the gearbox control elements themselves, on seat guides, and also on the exhaust system. Of course, this does not affect the reliability of the car, but it certainly should not happen in such a young model. A lot of corrosion will also translate into a greater loss of value. Typical for Auris are burnt xenon headlight lenses, scratched interior and flaking paint on plastic elements, as well as seized brake calipers at the rear. The latter is due solely to neglect. The bearings of the 5-speed manual gearboxes, coupled with the 1.4 VVTi, 1.6 dual VVTi and 1.4D engines, are not very durable. Signs of wear include a distinct noise when driving at low revs. Problems with changing gears are usually caused by a corroded slider mechanism. Minor issues include burnt-out headlight bulbs. We recommend non-xenon versions, and the airbag warning light coming on. The suspension is very durable. The front uses a McPherson strut with a fairly large lower wishbone, which is fully regenerable. The multi-link axle at the rear can only be found in the 2.2D variant. Toyota owners can be divided into two groups. The first are people who take exceptional care of their cars, often service them at ASO, and enjoy the reliability of their Toyota. The second are people who count on Japanese durability and visit garages only when the oil needs to be changed or something needs to be repaired. This group is not always satisfied, but it runs the car cheaper, but repairs it more often. The first group spends a lot on servicing, but repairs very rarely. For them, the Toyota Auris will be a fairly expensive car to run, but only in the short term. The second group can enjoy affordable, although certainly not cheap, parts and relatively low operating costs. There is no shortage of spare parts for Auris, because although the model was withdrawn from the market in 2012, it is so popular that most of the parts can be bought in wholesalers. In petrol engines, apart from basic servicing, nothing is usually done. In the 1.4D diesel there is no dual-mass flywheel, and the chain is durable, so the only thing that may bother the owner is the presence of a DPF filter. The only problem with buying an Auris may be the relatively high price. On the one hand, it shows that we are dealing with a good car. On the other hand, for less money you can buy a proven and pleasant Focus Mk2 or one of the French cars. Is it worth buying an Auris? Judge for yourself. We are only informing you that it is definitely worth having an Auris. Thank you for listening to me. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and rate my video. If you know of any problems with this car that I did not mention, be sure to write about them in the comments.
I have good news for you. Now, if you are planning to buy a used car, or learn more about your car, you no longer need to search for the information you need on the internet. We have collected everything in one place for you, on the website carme.pro. Here you can find out everything about the car, what breaks and at what mileage, any problems with engines, chassis or gearboxes, which trim levels are better not to mess with, and how not to lose money buying a used car. You will learn all this on carme.pro.